Turn on the force.
Hello there! I'm Jedi Joy.
I'm Jedi Jill.
And welcome back to Jedi Twins Banter. This week, again, it's going to be all about Ahsoka. We're going to talk about episode 3. And we have a special guest with us and friend, Kirsten.
Yay!
And she's going to be joining us for this episode. Okay, but before we do,
don't forget to turn on the like and subscribe buttons below and hit your notification button.
That's right. And check down below and at the end screen, I'm going to have a video up of our 500 sub giveaway. You want to get in on the action because we're going to give away an action figure at 500 subs once we reach 500 subs. Then we'll send out a video and let you know how it's going. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the hyper ring. Huang does his stuff. And here again, it's so funny. He has a lot of comic relief, I'll tell you. He is pretty funny. But he,
most definitely. I was howling.
He's trying to calculate, what this structure is, and get all the specifics about it, the stats on this, and he's like, he goes, you got it, Huang, got it, just a little closer, just a little more, just a little closer. And it was funny because, that's what Sabine was doing whenever she was trying to get the information from the HK-87 droid's head. And she was like pushing it to the last minute. Yes. So he's like doing the same thing. But he got the information. And what did we find out about that?
What did we find out about that? I don't know what you want me. What do you want me to say, Jedi Joy?
Yeah. Well, I will say it. I have it here in my notes. So we found out that it's a 6 hyperdrive engines, right?
Okay.
Yes. It's large 6 hyperdrive engines, and it is the last one's being put in place now. Ooh. So it's not complete.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Unless you want to say something.
Well, I do, but I've got like the background information on it too.
Okay. So
that's right.
I'll continue to say he talks about all of that, and then Ahsoka's like, well, can this thing go to like another galaxy?
He said,
yeah.
Yeah, he said,
yeah,
it can make a jump to a neighboring galaxy. He said of astonishing speed and distance, and then he says, Jedi archives speak of intergalactic hyperspace lanes between galaxies which used to follow the migration paths of star whales called Purgle. Yay! There they are, guys.
Yep.
There they are. And we see them for the first time in live action. We saw them in The Mandalorian, but those were just shadows. These ones show up, and we see them. We know they're wells. They boom, almost crash right into them.
Why don't you add your thoughts, Kirsten?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the second episode, I believe, or whenever the first time we see in Ahsoka, we see the hyperspace ring, I was telling them it's a hyperspace ring because some of the Jedi starfighters in the Clone Wars, they did not have the capabilities of jumping through hyperspace. So they had these little rings that they insert into. And I think the reason why they're making this big is just the power to get across galaxies that massively, and because I think they're trying to get Thrawn's ship back. So that was a really cool thing to say. And then do we want to go into if Ezra called the Purgles to come take them?
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. I've often wondered.
Yeah, me too.
If he could speak to those Purgles, why in the world couldn't he tell them to send them back? Why couldn't he bring them back?
And get him to come back?
Right.
Why don't you answer?
So my answer for that is because when ships go into hyperspace, they plug it into the navicomputer, which makes sure they have a sure path through meteors, ships, planets, anything that might hit the ship. So they have to make sure that there's a sure path. So if the Purgles have a similar thing, they might have known at that exact moment there was a way to get to that far galaxy, because he probably said, get us as far away as you can. And so they did. But because of that, it might be such a distance and challenging way to get there that they can't get back there anytime soon because there might be planets in the way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
that
sense.
makes sense. And that's why we haven't seen them for years.
And yet they're still where they're at.
That's right. Okay, so
What's up next?
well, I see Morgan up there.
Oh.
She says, "Don't worry." And this is in that battle. Okay, we're going back to this battle, and 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 they get away, and who ain't say get closer, get closer. And she goes, "Don't worry." Morgan says, "Don't worry, I got him. I'm going to put the get the guns up." And they start firing and firing. Well, they get away, and Shin comes on and comments to Morgan, and she says, "Congratulations, you almost got them." And Shin says, "I'll get them for you. I'll get them. I'll get them." And so it's almost like she feels. To me, it came off like she's superior to Morgan. You messed up. I'm going to take over because you hired me and I'm better at this than you are, is what it sounded like. That's how it came off to me. Is that how it came off to you?
Well, I took it a little differently. I was just like, she was just making a comment like, you almost got them, kind of, sort of, and I'll take care of it. What was your take on it, Kirsten?
Well, mine was like that in the sense of like, for years this has been happening. Usually with the dark side, when they're trying to go for a goal and it's multiple people, like have it be Grievous and Ventress trying to do the same thing. They're like, well, I got it before you, so that was nice. You did a good job, but I did better. And so they're trying to get the upper hand and be better for their superior and get more power that way.
See?
Methinks I'm outnumbered this time.
That you are, Jilly. Jedi Jilly is outnumbered.
Oh,
You lost this battle.
it's okay.
Okay. And then we see something kind of different. We see Ahsoka in a space astronaut type looking suit.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And that was a real shocker. She goes, "I'm going out there." What do you mean? I'm going out. She gets out there and she gets in this suit, and here she's just walking out on the wing of the fighter, and she's got her lightsaber out there, and she's zing, bing, 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 and I'm like, look at this! And then she flips up, and then lands back down on the wing.
I'm like, how in the world is she doing that? Okay, so
the way that she did that was because she has grav or magnet boots. I think they're either grav boots or mag boots. So basically, they show them in the Clone Wars, but it sticks down to metal. But you see at the one point when she flips too far away from the ship, she can't get back.
Right.
And she doesn't have any propulsion little jets to get her back to there.
Right.
Yeah,
So she's like, come get me.
Yeah, it's like
Sabine,
she's
you
floating
get it
backwards, and she's this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
She's like, come, Sabine, come get
Did
me.
you get it? Well, she says, "Did you get it working?" She goes, "Got it. Well, come get me." And it was
Yeah,
like
funny.
it was all like a matter of fact. It was like she wasn't stressed. She didn't feel under pressure.
Because she's a Jedi.
I know that.
Okay.
And
But it was-
also Anakin's Padawan. She's done this before.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's not the first time we've seen her in a spacesuit, but this one is definitely more form-fitting, especially for her Leku, which was really cool. I liked her little Leku space bags.
Yeah, that was cool.
You also like Sabine's outfit at the beginning.
Oh
too.
my gosh, I love Sabine's outfit for training because she had the harem pants. I think it's harem pants or Harlem pants. One of those. Popularized by MC Hammer.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're fashionable, or not fashionable, they're just used in the East because they're easy for movement. And Ahsoka has those a little bit too. But I especially loved her like binder top too, and those pants just look so comfy, and
Yeah,
I want that outfit.
it was
and
nice.
that's our fashion review for
Yeah,
today.
she had the fancy gauntlet things too. Yeah, I'll be drawing that for sure.
I think we kind of skipped over it, but I just want to add about the droids and just the them
comic
being
relief.
They are.
all through Star Wars.
Oh.
You see that,
And-
and it's like why? What's the question? Why do they use the droids?
And why did they just need characters for comic relief?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think because in real life, you need a little comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
So why they picked the droids, I'm not certain.
Well, because I think they seem like they're like animals, like humans, like animals, and they give us pleasure and they give us, a stress-free kind of
Sure.
situation. I mean, that's what.
That's one way of looking at it.
My emotional support droid.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
He tells me a funny and I
mean,
laugh.
That's right.
And it's like they have their own personalities. I mean, these are machines. You'd think that they would just boot up and it would just be.
And some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
Mhm.
But it's like others are like so animated and they have personalities. Chopper, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's like, and it's like, and
He's
you know what
spunky.
he's saying.
And he's spunky, man.
Oh,
He's got
him
the
and-
attitude.
in Rebels, if you guys are Rebel lovers and you watch the Rebels, he would torment Zeb like
No.
nobody's business,
Mhm.
and he would get after him. Oh,
Yeah.
it was really funny. He's funny in this already.
Mm-hmm.
He goes.
Did you mess with my stuff?
That's right.
Yeah, right.
Look under them and get. And he's like, oh, or something, and he got it, and then it's you just know what he's saying. So it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I
You
love
have
Chopper.
anything else to say about that, Kirsten?
On the droid thing?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I was mentioning earlier, I think it's very interesting that over time and the more freedom that these droids get, the more of a personality they have. Like, R2-D2 has a lot of personality because he's
does.
never had his memory wiped. And
Ah.
Anakin makes sure of that. Obi-Wan makes sure of, well, Obi-Wan wanted it to happen, but after the reveal of all the secrets in the Clone Wars, he makes sure that he doesn't have his memory wiped. Or maybe Bail Organa. But the point is, R2 never has his memory wiped. C-3PO does. He's oblivious most of the time. Hence why he's always like, why are you going that way? We shouldn't be going that way. And R2's like, I have to. And then like Chopper and Huang and
yeah.
just all the ones that get freedom, they get personalities. Because I think I would hope the eventuality of AIs, a robot's mind it's curious and it wants to learn and then they get funny. So
Yeah.
it's better they get funny instead of getting super mean. So
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think it ends. We
Does
see
it end?
we see big guy Balin pop up,
Mhm.
and he says, "Go get him." And so that's what we're looking forward to seeing then in the next episode.
Well,
Oh,
you want
we
to
have-
talk about
I want to talk
what
about
you think is going to happen in the beginning of the next episode?
Oh, well, what do you think? I haven't thought about that
Well, I could
I-
say what I'd like to see happen.
Well, what would
much,
you
but what
like
would you
to
like
see
to
happen?
see happen?
Well, I would like us to connect with Ezra and Thrawn finally. I want to know.
Mm.
I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to wait till the last episode or last two episodes, and we're going to see Ezra and we're going to see Thrawn. Come
might
on.
be, might be, might not be. Who
Yeah.
knows?
So I don't know. I'd like to see Sabine get a little better,
Yeah.
mature with her training, see her advance in some of the things. Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I think in the next episode, at the very beginning, we're going to see Balin sends out the droids to find them. I think they're going to completely miss them, or Sabine and Ahsoka are going to split up, and they're going to end up meeting Balin before the droids even find them.
Oh.
And that's when we're going to see the fight that they show in the trailer. And as for the Ezra and Thrawn thing,
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to them pretty soon, like within the next couple episodes.
Okay.
I think that Hera's going to try to come along, because they never listen to the
Right.
people in charge. They
Yeah.
never do.
They never
No,
do.
they never do.
And I think she's going to tell Jason not to come along. He's going to come along, because obviously he's going to sneak along, because he's
That's right.
his father's son and his mother's son.
yeah.
So, yeah.
That's right. We're
And I
gonna
think
see.
they're going to find where they're at. And I think we might see Thrawn and Ezra. They might be the thing that's, like, towards the end, maybe. Or one of them might be towards the end.
Mm.
Like, maybe they'll find Thrawn first, and Ezra will be, like,
Mm.
he's messing around somewhere else, doing something. But I think we're going to get to see where they're at pretty soon.
I hope so.
Do anybody want to know my thoughts?
Yes.
Well, sure, Jedi Jill.
Okay.
Why don't you knock
My
us out?
thoughts are that I think if we do see that fight with Ahsoka and Balin, I think what's going to happen is they're going to get caught. They're going to keep them held up if they lose. If Ahsoka and I think at that point, that's where Hera comes and gets them. And I think what's going to happen too is that they're going to be so, not knowing what to do. I think because in the 5th episode we're supposed to see Anakin, and I don't know to what extent. And if it's a Force ghost, then he could be like saying, "Oh, you can do this. I know you." Blah 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 blah. That kind of a thing.
Did you guys talk at all about the time and space kind of stuff?
No.
Oh, we didn't. You mean it's Force Ghost stuff?
No, like
What?
the time and space stuff with the traveling between galaxies.
No.
You mean like Ezra did?
Oh no,
and
we
Ahsoka
didn't.
came and that he pulled
Yeah.
her or something. No, we did
We did not. Well, why don't you go ahead? That
Yeah.
was like, go ahead. Say
So I brought it up that between even our galaxies in real life, what the stars we're seeing are millions of years old, and we're seeing them from millions of years ago. So basically, I'm sure it's the same in Star Wars, that whenever Morgan Elsbeth is talking and saying, Thrawn's talking to me through time and space, she's serious about that. And it's this connection that's like beyond any comlink could ever reach. And she's talking to him. And we see that with Ezra in the very end, the very last episode of Rebels, where Palpatine's like, here, you can have this timeline where your parents don't die. And I think that's going to be a factor in this show, is they're going somehow, whether it's while they're traveling, and by the way, I think them traveling is going to happen on accident. I think Ahsoka and Hera and them are going to somehow get onto that hyperspace ring, because how else would they get there?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to happen is Ahsoka and a lot of them are going to be shown this opportunity of, here's what could have happened. And here, you could go to a time period when Anakin doesn't turn to the dark side. And I feel like that's going to be something that'll show up, if not explicitly shown, just something that's hinted at, like Thrawn being like, oh, well, you could have this power to change time, and don't you want that? And Ahsoka being who she is, she's not going to do that.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
It is. It makes it very interesting for how Ahsoka this first season may end up.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
yeah, exactly.
Or in if they haven't season 2, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
Or that movie you were talking about.
Or
the movie coming out. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you guys were asking too about if somebody changes something in a timeline, wouldn't that mess up the future?
You're right. We were asking.
Yeah,
that.
we were
So
asking that.
I recently watched a show where they were like, well, that's just how Back to the Future works. That's not how actual time travel would work. But, I mean, I don't know if we know any of this for exact science or whatever, but it's whenever you change something in the past, it spawns off another timeline. So there's multiverses and extended universes. It's not something new to Star Wars. So
Or
it would
Marvel.
be cool. Yes, it would be very cool to see in Star Wars.
Yes, it would.
Especially if they showed us, like, the Skywalker family as a family.
Right, yeah. That would
very
be kinda
nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think
We kind of
we've
exhausted a little bit.
We did, but that's okay.
We got good stuff going here.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so
Well, we were so happy to have you,
I
Kirsten.
know.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So
Yeah.
you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us
Uh-huh.
on our Jedi Twins Banter this week.
Uh-huh.
That's a wrap for this week. But don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below.
Turn on the notifications button.
Turn on notification buttons. Check out the link below in the description.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one. I'm Jedi Joy.
I'm Jedi Jill.
And I'm Kirsten.
Oh, that's right.
May the force be with you.